this heart of mine, it's all busted up and blue. It's taking its sweet time, getting over you. Keeps dancing with your memory, like moonlight on the beach, holding on for dear life with each and every beat. Damn this heart of mine for making me feel like this whole world won't turn and love ain't real. It won't let me let go, and it sure won't let me die. Damn this heart of mine. Damn this radio keeps driving me insane. It's almost like it knows every song you used to sing. Damn this empty hallway and all the pictures on the wall. Damn every dream we ever lost, but honey, most of all, damn this heart of mine for making me feel like this whole world won't turn and love ain't real. It won't let me let go, and it sure won't let me die. Damn this heart of mine. No matter what I do, it just won't mend. Life without you ain't a life worth living in. Oh, here we go again. Damn this heart of mine for making me feel like this whole world won't turn and love ain't real. It won't let me let go, and it sure won't let me die. Damn this heart of mine. Damn this heart of mine. This heart of mine.
UvaldeRadio.net. Hey, good morning. It's Robert Miguel. That is William Beckmann there. And Damn This Heart of Mine, just cranking up the Texas charts and doing really well here in Uvalde. As we're all excited about the return of William Beckmann to Uvalde coming up on Wednesday, December 14th, the Uvalde Grand Opera House. The show is pert near, yes, I'm going to say that phrase, pert near sold out. And here to talk all about it and much more with me on the phone, the Del Rio Kid, Mr. William Beckmann.
Robert, what's going on? How are you doing?
Man, I'm excited to catch up with you, man. How are you doing, buddy? Where are you checking in from right now?
San Antonio, Texas.
Nice.
And last night. Yeah, I was in Nashville for about a week and a half, but I'm back home in San Antonio.
Back in the area. I love it, man. So let's go and talk about what we just played, your current song that's at Texas Radio, Damn This Heart of Mine. Now, it's hard for me to keep up with your output, man, because I know you've got a new EP that's kind of your current record that's out right now, Faded Memories, but this new song here is not on that EP, right?
No, man. This new song is actually the first single off of the newest record. So I've already got another one that's finished up that we're working on slowly releasing out to the public. So this is the first taste of the new record since Faded Memories.
So now, if I'm not mistaken, Faded Memories just came out, what, in April, or was it already last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, well, it just came out, and I kind of like keeping my albums sort of small. I think that, especially in today's world, I think less is more. So I like keeping them sort of around the 6 to, kind of EP.
Lean and mean. Yeah.
So this one will be about kind of similar in size, but I'm excited. The songs are a lot more up tempo than the last one was. This song in particular is pretty rocking. So it's going to be a good record for us to play live, to keep the live show really entertaining and energetic. So we're stoked, man.
The reason I remark is because I think it's hard for my brain to get out of like pandemic mode when everything was really slowed down. And here you've got some good output here, releasing, a 7-song EP back in April, and then new stuff, I guess, very soon. Let's go ahead and rewind and talk about Faded Memories, man. That record had Bourbon Whiskey on there, and I believe Follow, which are a couple of tracks that we played on the air. And then one of my favorites, Danced All Night Long, which had kind of more of that Spanish Mexican vibe to it. Give us a quick review on Faded Memories and how it's treated you since its release.
Well, yeah, no, Bourbon Whiskey's on that record, and that's definitely been a good song for me, and that's probably my biggest song. Whenever we go out live and play it, people are always singing the song back to me, which has got to be it's still the coolest feeling in the world to have a whole audience sing a song that you wrote. But yeah, it was definitely an album that I recorded throughout the pandemic, so it was kind of an interesting recording process. We kind of just chipped away at it little by little until it was all done, and we wrapped it up and released it as a whole. But that song in particular is one of my favorite ones to play. There's another song on that record called In the Dark, which is another one of my favorites. A lot of the people seem to like Danced All Night Long because I'm a border town kid, and I grew up in Del Rio, and I wanted to have a song that kind of reflected that. And so I had this song kicking around for a while called Danced All Night Long, and it talks about going to Acuna, and when we recorded it, I knew that it had to have some sort of mariachi flair to really kind of drive it home. So we brought some mariachis into the studio to play on the song, and it really came out cool, man. It's very reminiscent of some like Freddie Fender kind of Tex-Mex sort of era. So I'm excited about that one being out there as well.
Now, the new music you've been working on, and again, your current single, Damn This Heart of Mine, which will be on there, you said it's going to be a little bit more up-tempo, I guess, and you have your full band in order, right? Yeah,
I've got an incredible band with me now, which I'm very grateful for, because that's hard, man. It's hard to find a group of guys that you not only vibe well with musically, but also get along with, and everybody's, you want to surround yourself with people that kind of believe in what you're doing too, and so to have that and to have a group of guys that not only like playing the shows that we're playing, but believe in the music that I'm putting out there and creating is a really flattering thing. So I feel very fortunate to have the band that I have on the road.
Now, we talked about this a little briefly when you were putting the band together when it was really fresh, but has having that band, have they influenced the arrangements or how these things end up going into the recording process?
Absolutely. I think so. My drummer, his name's Jeremy Walden, one of my dearest friends. He's always got really great input, and I can bring them a song when it's a brand new song that I've just written either by myself or with a couple different collaborators up in Nashville. But I'll sometimes bring the band a new song and just play it on the guitar for them, and they'll kind of throw in their 2 cents and pitch ideas on how they think it should be arranged. Or as a matter of fact, with Damn This Heart of Mine, that's a great example, because I wrote that song with a friend of mine in Nashville. His name's Nick Walsh, and when we wrote that song, it was a ballad. It was very, very slow, and kind of reminded me of like a Ryan Adams, very kind of sad boy vibes, if that will. And he was like, man, this is a rock and roll song. He's like, all you got to do is speed it up and add some harmonica on it. And we did, and then all of a sudden it kind of turned into like a Tom Petty song. So that's a great example of how I wrote it a certain way, and then I was influenced by the band to pick up the pace and really kind of put some more energy behind it, and it kind of turned into a completely different song. So yes, it's definitely great to have really good musicians in your corner that can help mold the arrangement a little bit.
Well, we're looking forward to the new EP when that does come out. Is there a ETA, a release date, and if so, is there an album title, or are you still more in the infancy stages?
We're a lot of the songs are recorded, but as far as the title for the record, we haven't really come up with a title. We're still probably going to go back into the studio and maybe cut a couple more songs, but it's 80% there, and we're shooting for the the top of next year. At the first quarter, maybe the second quarter of next year. So it's going to be definitely a lot of work getting it out there. But like I said, I'm always so amazed at the fans that show up to the shows, and we just want to keep putting music out there for them and keep the gears moving.
Now, we got to get into this, man. The reason for the call is you are kicking off your Las Posadas tour, Hope for Uvalde, here in Uvalde. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you'd kind of put this together, and then we kind of tagged on Uvalde as kind of the launch show. And let's go ahead. I know you partnered up with some great people and entities to make this happen. And of course, it's going to benefit a great cause. So in your own words, man, let's talk about Las Posadas, the tour, and then we'll talk about, musically what you guys are going to bring to the stage. What was the inspiration here?
Well, just having grown up in Del Rio, I always felt very tied to the Uvalde community, just given that it's only 2 towns away. Mm-hmm. And some of my earliest memories of playing shows outside of Del Rio when I was growing up were in Uvalde, because it was the closest town, big town that was near my hometown. So when I was branching out in high school, trying to get outside of my hometown, and that was the first market that I ever really played. And so I've always wanted to show that, and just given everything going on in Uvalde, I wanted to do something that could help the community, and I was fortunate enough to partner up with Just Keep Living, which is Matthew McConaughey's foundation, and McConaughey being somebody from Uvalde who's had a really hands-on relationship with everything in Uvalde. I wanted to partner up with them to put together a tour to help families affected by the tragedy in Uvalde. So we put together a string of, I think, 7 shows, and everybody on my team, myself included, felt that it would be right to not play in Uvalde, because we're doing it for the Uvalde community,
yeah,
and we didn't want anybody within the community to have to pay money for the cause. We just wanted to do a good thing for a good community. But when we announced the tour, the city of Uvalde reached out to McConaughey's camp asking if we could play a show at the Uvalde Opera House, which I love that venue. Mm-hmm. And after that, I said absolutely. We just didn't want to. We didn't want to have to make anybody pay. But if the community themselves wanted us to come and do a show there, then we said absolutely. So we worked out a date, and we're actually going to kick off the whole tour at the Opera House, which is a dream come true. And like I said, I'm from Del Rio, but I consider Uvalde a pretty close hometown as well. So I just want to do my part as an entertainer, as a singer, to help bring people together during the holiday season, and try to just help the community rebuild, because I feel very tied to that town, and I want to let people know that I want to help out in any way I can. So that's the whole goal, that's the whole idea, and that was the inspiration behind it.
Well, we absolutely appreciate the gesture and all the help and the attention of just doing something positive in town. Obviously, the political landscape is very interesting. There's a lot of there's a lot of different dynamics going on, but something like this that's just clearly a positive, helpful, thing is so well received. So, and it's just a treat to have you kick it off at our historic Opera House. Now, there is, again, like you said, like 7-8 dates on this thing. As far as the venues that you picked to bring this particular show to, is there some rhyme or reason? Give us an idea as to some of these venues that you're going to.
Definitely, the venues are. I've played at some of the venues, and some of them I have not. But a lot of them are more geared towards a theater setting. I am playing my hometown as well. I'm playing the Paul Polk Theater, which is similar to the Opera House in the sense that it's a seated, really gorgeous, historic building. We're doing the Kessler Theater in Dallas, which is another listening room. There's a really cool theater in Bertram, Texas that we'll be playing, and that's called the Globe Theater. But yes, it's for those that are expecting a typical show of mine, that they're going to be surprised, because it's going to be completely different. We're doing Christmas songs. My band and I, we're going to be dressed up in suits and tie. I don't even think I'll be playing very much guitar. I'm just going to be up there singing and crooning. So it's very, very reminiscent of like Frank Sinatra, Harry Connick Jr. kind of stuff. It's going to be much more of a crooner, jazzy kind of a set, which is really fun for me, because I've always wanted to tap into that a little bit, because I've always loved singing that style of music. Aside from my day job, the country thing that I do, it's going to be cool. The guys are excited. I have 2 new band members that are coming in specifically just for this tour who specialize in that area in jazz, and so it's a little bit different of a band, definitely different songs. I will be performing a couple of my original tunes acoustic, but we'll be playing some American standards, Sinatra, the Rat Pack, Dean Martin. I've got a Tony Bennett song that we've been practicing, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a great thing, family-friendly show. You bring your kids to it. It's just we're trying to bring people together during the most special time of the year, in my opinion, and we're doing it all for a good cause. All the money we're raising is going directly to Just Keep Living, who will then turn around and make sure the money gets dispersed to families in Uvalde that need it. So we're excited, man. We couldn't be happier.
Now, we're absolutely excited about the show. It's going to be nice to see you kind of doing something a little bit outside the box. Now, for those who don't know the relevance of the tour title, Las Posadas, go ahead and explain that, the cultural significance of that.
Yeah, so definitely in Mexican culture, it's the time leading up into Christmas. I know growing up in Del Rio, that was always a pretty big part, and that's why we made the tour during the week leading up into Christmas. But again, it's a time for people, specifically families, to come together and to enjoy the time leading up into Christmas. And obviously, we know that's not as easy for some families in Uvalde. So we're just trying to do something where we can make sure that nobody's left out, and what better way to do that than with music. So hopefully this tour is able to help out.
Well, now, as far as this holiday theme that you're kind of going for, have you guys already worked out the set, banged it all out? Is it ready to go, or is there still rehearsals and some finishing touches to put on it? Well, where are you right now on it?
It's pretty much ready to go, man. We do have one more rehearsal just to kind of clean everything up and make sure that everything's where it needs to be. But yeah, we've been working on this set for a couple weeks now, and the band's excited. I'm really stoked, and yeah, like you had mentioned, this is definitely a little bit daunting because it is out of the box for me, and for a lot of these players too. But we're definitely prepared, and we're anxious to get out on stage and start playing them for the people.
Well, now, I'm really excited about this, William, because, again, we're talking to William Beckmann here. He's performing at the Uvalde Grand Opera House on Wednesday, December 14th, kicking off his Las Posadas Hope for Uvalde tour here at the Uvalde Grand Opera House. It's going to be a great show with a little bit of everything. And again, we've talked about this several times over the years as you've been on the air with us. You're just kind of a multi-genre kind of guy. I mean, you handle different vocal styles and genres effortlessly and capably. So I'm really excited personally to see you kind of delve into this. Also, man, I'm just a lover of Christmas music. I'm kind of envisioning like a local, regional version of like an Elvis television special, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that. That's definitely a compliment. It is, and you and I have spoken about this in the past, but growing up, I had a lot of different musical influences. And I think that's evident when somebody listens to me perform or sing. But I remember growing up and listening to a lot of mariachi music and just falling in love with the way they sang and the way they delivered songs, and also Elvis and Sinatra and a lot of what I guess you could consider traditional pop music. That was pop music of the 50s and 60s. But then also having George Strait and a lot of country influences as well. But this is going to give me an opportunity to put the guitar down and to just really focus on singing and playing fun songs, Christmas songs that I've always wanted to perform live but never felt like I could. Songs like My Way, that'll be in the set. Fly Me to the Moon's in the set. So it's going to be really, really cool to tap into that side of my voice, and as a performer, it's definitely going to be a little bit a little bit different, not being able to hide behind a guitar, because anybody that tells you they don't use a guitar as a crutch is lying to you. You know, once you take it away, you feel a little bit naked on stage, and you have to figure out what to do with your hands, and you know how to go about being on stage. And so we've been practicing a lot of that as well, which is healthy. You know, I think that's good. It's good to push the boundaries as a performer, as a singer, as an entertainer, and to do things that do make you a little bit uncomfortable, because that is what helps you grow, and that's what makes you a better performer. So it's going to be really good for me too. So that's why I think it's awesome that not only are we doing something that is beneficial for a community that I feel very tied to, I think it's helping us all as musicians and as performers, and I think everybody's going to grow from it. So
it is going to be a fantastic show again. The Las Posadas tour, Hope for Uvalde, William Beckmann and friends, coming up on Wednesday, December 14th at the Uvalde Grand Opera House. Now, before I got you on the phone, I just spoke to Caitlin over at the Opera House. Officially, unofficially sold out already, but they did release some, I guess, VIP tickets that there was on reserve for the Just Keep Living Foundation people that have been not been claimed yet. So there's a handful of tickets. So here's the deal. If you want to get tickets, there's still just a handful available. You'll need to call Caitlin because there's kind of a wait list. 830-278-4184. Again, that number is 830-278-4184. If she doesn't answer, leave a message. Tell her you want tickets to William Beckmann's show, and then they'll try to get you worked in as they're kind of going through upgrades and whatnot right now. So, man, William, we're really excited about the show and looking forward to new recorded music. I know that you've been, let's quickly get an idea of what was up for the summer and fall. Any big shows? I know you did some stuff with Randy and Wade over the summer and other things. What have we missed out on since our last conversation?
Man, a lot of exciting stuff. I'm now allowed to tell publicly that I'm doing my Grand Ole Opry debut.
What?
In Nashville,
nice.
Which is exciting. That's every country singer's dream, is to play the Grand Ole Opry, and you have to get invited, which is the hard part.
Yeah.
So I finally got a phone call from the Grand Ole Opry asking if I would play, which is awesome. So we're doing that in March, the beginning of March. I am also, before then, we're playing the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, which is really, really an amazing opportunity for myself as well, because I grew up going to that rodeo and watching the concerts. So I'm excited about that. Of course, just doing a lot of headlining stuff. Got this new record that we're trying to wrap up and release. And just keep on keeping on, man. That's the whole goal. I can't thank you enough for being one of my biggest supporters from day one, from my first record, and I can't thank the fans in Uvalde and all over the great state of Texas and beyond that come out to the shows. It's a dream come true for me.
Now, I do have one question about the Grand Ole Opry, man, because I mean it's a pretty freaking big deal, man. I know that generally you play with the band and you get, 2 songs, if I'm not mistaken? Any thought as to what you're performing? Have you decided what you're going to play yet? Or is that still
No, I'm still trying to figure that out. I do know that Bourbon Whiskey's got to be one of them, just because it's such an old-school country song that I think it'd only be right to play it on such a big stage like that, such a monumental stage. So definitely that one. The second one, I'm still hopefully something from this new record that I can promote the record with. But like I said, that's a phone call of a lifetime to be able to get invited to play there. So it's March 3rd, I believe, is the date on that. So. And
what was that phone call like? Was it an email? Was it a phone call? Where were you? What were you doing when you got the news?
Yeah, well, they called my manager first, and my manager called me, and I think I was driving when he called me and said, "Hey, would you like to play the Grand Ole Opry?" I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Absolutely, man." So yeah, that's definitely it's one that I'm really looking forward to.
Well, right on, man. Well, William, I know you're a busy man, so I'm going to let you go, and we will see you real soon at the Opera House with your Las Posadas tour. Thank you so much for what you're doing for Uvalde. This community does appreciate you so much, and we're looking forward to seeing that live show. We're going to do another track off the Faded Memories EP we were talking about earlier. I think this one kind of fits that Mexican vibe, the mariachi kind of thing we were talking about earlier. Danced all night long because it's a little different than what we play normally here. Still a good Western song. We'll play that to kind of give everybody an idea of, the stuff you bring, man. I'm sure you're going to have a little bit of this flavor at the Opera House at your show. So, danced all night long. William Beckmann, thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right, and this is Uvalde Radio.
In the Mexican town of Acuña, Coahuila, I was down at the bar drinking beer and tequila. It was then when I saw the most beautiful señorita walk on through the door. She had a pretty red dress on and a rose in her hair. Every man in the room could not help but stare. Was convinced it was love at first sight, I swear. I knew I'd have to ask her to dance. So we danced all night long. We romanced, song after song. Yeah, we danced all night long. Song after song. We danced all night long. She asked me, ¿Cómo te llamas? And I told her my name. She said, es un gusto conocerte. And I told her the same. I guess George Strait was right when he said Mexico's to blame, 'cause this woman stole my heart right out my chest. When we danced all night long. We romanced, song after song. Yeah, we danced all night long. Yeah, we did. Song after song. We danced all night long. I'll play that song, boys. Just like that. Well, as each song played, we held each other close. Still we danced and we danced till the bar had to close. I looked down at her and said, come on, babe, vámonos. And the two of us walked away hand in hand. After we danced all night long. We romanced, song after song. Y bailamos toda la noche. Y nos enamoramos con cada canción. Song after song. We danced all night long.